How do I find my purpose in life? If you've ever asked yourself this question, like most normal human beings do, you've probably got yourself into a bigger pit of despair than you were in already. I know that because I've been in the same situation many times. In the best case scenario, you've probably started daydreaming about one day having this profound realization or an epiphany that just comes out of the blue and changes your life. That day, the sun shines on your face brighter than usual, and you hear your inner angelic voice telling you that your purpose is to solve world hunger, prevent a nuclear fallout, banish the concept of fusion food from the world forever, or something else that's grand in its ambition and magnitude. I mean, that's how most modern media depicts how finding your purpose is supposed to look and feel like, right? The truth, however, is that it's completely bullshit. To find your purpose, you have to first get a clear understanding of what it means. And most people get stuck here in the very first step itself because they get this wrong. Purpose is not some grand realization, an epiphany, or something that you were born to do in life. As much as we like to idealize and romanticize the act of finding your purpose as the one thing you're meant to do, it couldn't be any further from the truth. Purpose, in my opinion, is whatever the fuck you want it to be. Your purpose doesn't have to be something grand or life changing. And I know this opinion might come off as contradictory to what many spiritual teachings and wisdom tell us, but hear me out. I say that purpose is whatever you want it to be because at the end of the day, it's something that exists only in your head. You can't see it, touch it, or sell it for profits. Purpose is also ever changing, ever evolving. There is no way you can convince me that as human beings, being the dynamic, unique individuals that we are, can find one purpose and stick to it our entire lives. That's just impossible. People have so many different interests, curiosities, and hobbies that it's quite literally impossible to put them in a box or separate according to categories. Yet, when we ask ourselves this question of what our purpose is, we are trying to do exactly that. We are trying to put ourselves in a box and just run with it. How silly is that? Let me tell you something you'd be glad to hear. As a human being, you're allowed to have more than one purpose. Heck, I'd say it's even normal to have multiple purposes if that's what makes you get out of the bed in the morning. When I was in my late teens, my purpose was to play Call of Duty for 8 hours a day to become a high-level player. Now it's not anymore. Imagine me, a 30-year-old, a literal fossil whose purpose is to play Call of Duty. What would that look like? Imagine me being toxic to others and telling everyone in chat about how I stole their mom's virginity last night. Think about that. So when people ask what their purpose is, in most cases, what they're really asking is, what can I do with my time that's enjoyable and adds some meaning to my life? And that's what I'm going to attempt to answer in this video. So in this video, I'm going to talk to two different kinds of audiences. Number one, those who procrastinate because they think they haven't found their purpose yet. Number two, high-functioning individuals who seemingly have everything according to societal standards but are still unhappy with their lives. If you're in category one, meaning you're the procrastinator, I'd say you're in a far better position now than people in category number two because boy, they are fucked up. Cure for procrastination. Okay, diving right into the topic. If you're a procrastinator and you find yourself doing little to nothing on a daily basis other than chill out, play video games, eat, sleep, and then repeat, and then feeling guilty for all of it later on, do you think that finding your purpose would make you get off your ass and get shit done? If your answer is yes, then you're wrong. If you're waiting for motivation to pop up out of thin air, then you either don't understand how motivation works or you got it all backwards. Finding purpose, like finding motivation, is a process that you get better at the more you practice. And to find motivation, you gotta lead with taking action because action precedes motivation. Oldest quote in the book. So instead of waiting around for inspiration to strike, make a point to do something that you enjoy or used to enjoy before. Preferably something that engages both your mind and body without the allure of cheap dopamine. This is why so much of self-help advice starts with going to the gym or moving your body in one way or another. At this point, it's kind of cliche, but going to the gym to get stronger and build muscles is literally the opposite of cheap dopamine. If you're able to turn up to the gym 4 or 5 times a week and keep doing it for 6 months while seeing little to no results, you would have already trained your brain to stop looking for those easy escapes and immerse itself into getting its daily dopamine fix in unhealthy ways. Find something that you're interested in, be it running, swimming, exercise, and do it on a regular basis. And you'll slowly start to feel like you're taking back control of your life, one day at a time. You'll finally stop feeling tired of being tired, and with a clear head, you'll be able to see the mistakes in your old ways of living and why you always felt guilty for it. You'll notice the patterns that you subconsciously fell into that led you to feeling useless, unmotivated, and unproductive. Next, what I want you to do is create a list of goals that you're going to accomplish on a short-term basis and a long-term basis. And then outline all these activities you're going to do on a daily basis to accomplish those goals. For example, to create the content that you're viewing right now, I have to set very clear and specific daily goals to accomplish. These goals include, but are not limited to, reading a book for at least 1 hour a day, writing at least 1,000 words for a script, exercising for 1 hour. It could be going to the gym, going on a walk, or swimming early in the morning. It is as simple as that. I call these tasks daily goals because doing those things on a daily basis puts me in a position where I'm more likely to accomplish my short-term goals and long-term goals, which are publish 2 videos every week, publish 100 videos within the next 1 year, reading at least 20 to 30 books per year, get more clients for my business, so on and so forth. Is success guaranteed if I follow my routine and hit my daily goals? Of course not. That's how life is. Life's unpredictable. And the only thing we can try to control are our thoughts and our habits. Now, the chronic procrastinator inside of you must be saying, then what's the point of it all? Is life all about organizing, planning, and processing? And it might not even lead to something worthwhile in the end. No, that's not what I'm saying. Life is whatever you make of it. Your life's purpose is what you give it. That's what I said in the beginning of this video. If you genuinely feel that your purpose is to just chill out and do nothing, then do that. If it was really that, you wouldn't feel guilty for just existing as you were, for doing nothing and taking life as it comes. Then you wouldn't have been watching this video. I'm not even being sarcastic. Since you're already here, you're entitled to live life however you want, as long as you're not causing harm to someone else. The reason I follow my routine is because I feel that my purpose is to share some knowledge that this smooth brain acquired over the years with you all. And I enjoy the whole process of creating content, from writing to doing the final editing and everything in between, with or without help of others. If I hated every second of this process, do you think I would have kept at it for so long? You know the answer to that question. I also feel that my life's purpose is to just travel with my friends, as selfish as that may sound. And by being a content creator and owning a business, not only am I able to make money doing something I enjoy, I can also spend that money on traveling, which is something that I also enjoy. When it comes to the question of purpose, most people overcomplicate things. Stop overthinking for once in your life. Get out of your head and fucking go do something. Explore your curiosities and turn one or few of them into a passion. Do something that you enjoy and feels like a meaningful way to spend your days. Then I guarantee you'll find your purpose in no time. Cure for the highly accomplished. Okay, moving on to the second part of this video. The cure for the highly accomplished. I highly recommend you procrastinators out there to stick around, because I'm about to drop some fucking truth bombs right here. If you fuck this up, you'll be in deep shit. So I'm going to address this message to that part of the population who from the outside look like they're living the dream life. They're well settled in their careers, have money, a big house, a nice car, a hot girlfriend or wife, They go on exotic trips and everything else that society labels as a mark of being a success. But deep down inside, this person feels not much different than the procrastinator who eats chicken chips all day and watches Netflix. How is this possible, you might ask? I thought the point of cultivating discipline, having a purpose, was to accomplish great things and be successful. Well, that's a valid question. But when you mention the word successful, you gotta really ask, what does it even mean? Successful in what? In comparison to whom? The truth is, success means different things to different people. But most people interpret that as just being wealthy. Success being synonymous to how much money you make and what you own. And the reason we've internalized this definition of success is because we were raised by parents who fed us this message since our childhood. Because they themselves didn't know any better. Because their parents told them the same thing. So, for most of us, the path we take in our lives, the trajectory was already decided by our parents and our society. Go to school, play it safe, go to college, get a job that pays good money, even if it makes you miserable. Buy shit you don't even need to please others, and keep repeating the pattern till you die. Your whole entire life, you've been taught that you can be happy when you have this much money in your bank account, when you have a job that pays this much, when you have a family to raise or provide financial security for your children. Society programs you from early childhood on what to do and what not to do to be the model citizen of the society you represent. They give you purpose after purpose, and all you do is blindly follow without questioning because that's what you've been doing your whole life. They literally turn you into an NPC where you feel like you have choices, but upon close examination, they're proven to be nothing but illusions. And when most people realize that, it's too late for them to do anything else. The purpose they have was given to them. It was never theirs to begin with. And when most people realize that, let's say in their mid 30s or 40s, they've already accomplished everything that society considers to be a good marker of success. They've done everything that they once thought would make them happy. But it doesn't. Obviously, it doesn't because they've won at a game they didn't consciously choose to play in the first place. They're not happy because winning at the wrong game is no better than losing at the right one. That's how people end up being deeply depressed but high functioning individuals who turn to drugs and alcohol to keep their sanity alive. And unless we all come together and decide to acknowledge this pattern and work together to make things better for the future generation, we're all collectively fucked. This is why inner work is so important, why the pursuit of getting to know yourself is so important, and why purpose is something that cannot be given to you, but you have to find out for yourself. If you're a procrastinator and one day you decide to turn your life around by chasing wealth by any means necessary, it's very likely you'd be sad, depressed, and hopeless even when the day comes when you consider yourself to be rich. Because one day you looked at other rich people and assumed that money will give you a sense of purpose and pride. In reality, they're equally as fucked as wealthy as you were as a broke human being. So what's the solution to the problem that seems to be gaining prominence year after year? How do you prevent waking up one morning in your late 30s or 40s to realize what you've been pursuing was meaningless? The answer is inner work. When you're young, let's say in your 20s, you have to put conscious effort into understanding who you are and what you want from life. And you do that not by listening to another self-help talk, another TED talk, or buying a ticket to a fucking Tony Robbins seminar. You do that by sitting alone in a room and accepting the fact that life is intrinsically meaningless. It's beautiful, but meaningless. Accept the fact that just like none of what happened before you were born mattered, what happens after you're gone won't matter either. On a cosmic scale, your life is like a match that burns ridiculously short. Matches like this have burned and gone out for millions of years before you were born. And the same will keep happening after you're gone. The thought is pretty dark, I know. But think of it this way. Since life is ultimately meaningless, what you do with your life is also kind of meaningless. Life is what you make of it. So you might as well enjoy the ride while it lasts. To break free of the trauma of the past and the anxiety of an uncertain future, the things that keep you imprisoned, all you can do is focus on the present. When you do that, you'll no longer be a slave to your mind or the thoughts it produces to keep you in a toxic loop. Take, for example, when you're hiking, okay? Hiking on a rough trail automatically forces you to be in the present because at that moment, all your energy is channeled in one direction. Your mind and body are so exhausted that you don't have the ability to think about anything apart from just putting one foot ahead of another. At that moment, even if you think about something, all you can think about is a hot shower and fresh food at the end of the day. I also get the same feeling when I'm writing these scripts. There are times when I get into a flow and write about 1000 words without even realizing it. By focusing on activities that ground you to the present, you understand how to separate the wheat from the chaff and pursue your passions with even more intensity and joy, not with fear or anxiety. Your sense of purpose will drive you to accomplish things, not to gain any external reward, but the pursuit for that accomplishment will become the reward itself. Look, I'm not saying I've figured all this stuff out for myself just because I can speak in front of a camera. And I don't want to give you that impression. I have worries, fears, and anxieties, everything else that a normal person has. But by doing the inner work, I've at least become aware of the things that are holding me back. I've at least got some idea about who I am and what I want from life. So when it comes to playing the game, I can consciously choose which game to play. The path to self-discovery and improvement is not easy though, because you have to be willing to try many different things, take risks, and be vulnerable and open for life to take its course and teach you the lessons that you need to learn. When I say your parents or the society is responsible for you being unhappy, I don't mean to say you should blame them. Through active steps, you can unlearn the programming of the society and I hate saying society all the time. You can unlearn the programming of the society and escape the rat race where most people are NPCs. Recognize that if you don't have a plan for your life, you'll be a part of someone else's. While that's not necessarily a bad thing, all things considered. The problem is when you're part of someone else's plan, there's a high chance that you'll never discover the real you, experience what you're truly capable of. Because you never put your work in the right direction, because you never found your purpose. And that is the worst feeling to go through as a human when you're old. That series of what ifs. What if I had done this? What if I had done that? Alright, that's about it for this video. I apologize if the message was sometimes all over the place. Sometimes what happens when I'm writing these scripts is that my mind tries to process 100 different ideas and perspectives at the same time. So I lose my train of thought and I end up writing something stupid. Like, comment, subscribe. Send this to a friend who's a lazy fuck, or someone who's highly accomplished and depressed, or anyone else who you think should watch this. Till next time, see ya.